At the beginning of the movie we see an American flag on the moon. Next to it there is a plaque on which it is stated that a man from the planet Earth first visited here, but he came in peace. After a while, a huge shadow looms over the planet, and a spaceship of impressive size approaches the Earth. The action moves to New Mexico, the center of the search for extraterrestrial civilizations. A scientist receives information about strange signals from his co-workers. The man receives confirmation that the source of the sounds is an alien ship, which is not far from Earth, in the area of the moon. This information becomes classified and gets to the Pentagon. General William Gray is going to report everything to the Secretary of Defense. Meanwhile, U.S. President Thomas Whitmore communicates with his wife Marilyn and looks after his daughter Patricia. Presidential aide Constance Spano discusses the criticism in the press. Because of Thomas's youth, he is jokingly referred to as Oliver Twist. Constance is sure that if the president continued his tough policies, no one would criticize his age. Thomas receives a call from the Secretary of Defense. An Earth satellite crashes into a huge alien ship. Meanwhile, Julius Levinson plays chess and has a conversation with his son. After beating his father, David drives to work. A man sees utter chaos going on all around and asks what is the cause. An alien ship is approaching but responds strangely to signals. David tries to figure out how it might work. The action shifts to Imperial Valley, California. Pilot Russell Case receives a mission from Lucas to pollinate a field. The man accomplishes the task, however confuses the fields. His son Miguel criticizes this indiscretion and poor attitude towards the job. An important meeting is taking place at the White House. The President, as well as the Secretary of Defense and General Gray, are trying to decide what to do about a flying object close to the planet's orbit. Constance ignores questions from the press and says the government doesn't have an official opinion yet. The 4th of July is approaching, so half the military is on vacation or preparing for a parade. New data is coming in, several parts have separated from the alien ship and are rapidly approaching Earth. David, meanwhile, figures out how to get an image using a crashed satellite. Two objects fly into the Earth's atmosphere and are being tracked by the military. Another object is heading towards Moscow. The situation becomes increasingly heated. The president refuses to go to the bunker so as not to sow panic. David receives a signal, but immediately learns about the invasion of Earth. Marty asks a friend to forget about work for a while. At the bar, Russell is jeered at because he told earlier that he was captured by aliens when he was young. However, a huge cloud covers the valley. Miguel gets out of the van and tries to figure out what they should do. A hero named Stevie Hiller wakes up from the noise, but the girl assures him that it is only an earthquake. Major cities in America are covered with terrible shadows. Gradually, the population begins to panic, numerous accidents occur. David watches from the roof as a ship appears out of the clouds. Stevie finally wakes up and sees the ship covering the city. David realizes that a catastrophe is about to happen. The signal it receives is gradually slowing down. The aliens position their ships over important targets, and in about 6 hours the timer will stop and they will strike. David calls his ex-wife Constance and tries to warn her of the danger and the signal. However, it seems to the woman that the man is being overly dramatic. Stevie puts on his uniform and says goodbye to the girl, promising to take care of himself. David gets to his father through the utter chaos and asks him to take them to a place. The president calls his wife and asks her to leave Los Angeles for a smaller city. Julius criticizes his son, believing that the White House already knows everything and there is absolutely no reason to go there. Miguel learns on television that his father has been put on TV and then incarcerated. After surviving Vietnam, Russell starts fantasizing about aliens. Stevie's coworker learns that Stevie is about to propose to a girl and advises him not to marry Jasmine, who is a stripper. The girl, meanwhile, asks her friend Tiffany not to go to the alien welcome party. Jasmine quits her job and leaves town, not wanting to risk herself and her son. Meanwhile, David and his father finally make it to the White House. A scientist is about to determine Constance's exact location. The woman sees David and his father from the window. A helicopter with cameras is sent to the alien ship. Constance lets David in and promises to arrange a meeting with the president. The scientist informs Thomas that using satellites, the aliens are coordinating their ships to strike precisely. The helicopters sent to the ship explode. The president realizes he must leave, as the aliens are a threat to everyone. Jasmine hears on the news a plea to avoid big cities and realizes she was right. Marilyn gets into the helicopter and sees the people waiting for the aliens having fun on the roof. Tiffany finds herself among them. Suddenly, the aliens open the hatches. The president boards an airplane with Constance, his daughter, and the Levinson family. David sees that the timer is at 0, and at the same moment the aliens start attacking major cities. People panic and try to escape while the aliens attack one building after another. The president's plane miraculously manages to take off. Jasmine hides in some room and the blast wave passes her by. The 3rd of July arrives. Thomas laments not starting the evacuation sooner and says that being a military pilot is easier. In addition, the president learns that his wife's helicopter never made it to Nelson. Jasmine, her son, and her dog manage to survive. Stevie, along with his friend Jimmy Wilder, prepares for the first attack on the alien ship. However, the missiles run into a force field. The aliens release small airplanes to deal with their opponents. The president orders an end to the operation, but it is too late. Stevie and Jimmy lure the 2 alien ships out to take on the aliens. The hero loses his friend, and he becomes even more angry. Alien ships begin attacking military bases. Stevie lures the ship into the Grand Canyon, even though his fuel is running low. The hero manages to outsmart the alien and his ship goes down. Stevie takes the alien prisoner. Jasmine, meanwhile, finds the machine. Troy, Russell's son, becomes ill without medication. The general and the Secretary of Defense propose using nuclear weapons. David opposes it, and Julius suggests using the alien ship from Roswell, which is stored in Area 51. The president assures everyone that it's just a fabrication of the tabloids, but the Secretary of Defense says it's not quite true. Meanwhile, Jasmine helps the survivors and is going to take them to a safe place. There, the girl finds an injured Marilyn. Stevie drags a bound alien in a parachute across the vast desert. The hero confronts Russell and asks him to take him to Area 51. The president also flies there and learns that the ship, broken since the 60s, has suddenly started working after the aliens arrived. Stevie manages to sneak into the base by showing the alien. Dr. Oken, the chief scientist of Area 51, shows David the device of the ship. Russell demands that Troy be brought in to see a doctor. Stevie causes a huge commotion at the base. The general criticizes the head of the CIA for withholding information about Area 51. Jasmine arrives at the base where Stevie was supposed to be and sees that everything is destroyed. The girl continues to help the First Lady and recognizes her. Meanwhile, Oken investigates the alien who is unconscious. During the operation, the alien regains consciousness and begins telepathically attacking the doctor. The alien uses Oken to communicate with the president. It begins to attack Thomas as well and claims that peace is impossible, Earthlings must disappear. The president, who has read the alien's mind, tells everyone that they are like locusts, stealing resources from all planets. Thomas decides to use nuclear weapons. David criticizes this decision, but can do nothing. At the president's command, the operation begins. However, even such power does not destroy the alien ship. Stevie takes the helicopter and flies to his base, where he finds Jasmine with the rest of the survivors. Thomas rejoices at his wife's return, but the doctors warn that there is nothing they can do for her. The president says goodbye to Marilyn and comforts his daughter. 4th of July arrives. Julius comforts his son, who feels there is nothing he can change or do. A man asks David to get off the floor so he won't catch cold. This leads the scientist to an unexpected idea. David creates a protective barrier on an old alien ship and then removes it with a computer virus. The scientist wants to remove the defenses from all the ships by using satellites and introducing the virus to the main ship in orbit. To do this, he needs to fly to the center ship in orbit. Stevie offers his candidacy as he has seen the alien ships in action. The president fires the head of the CIA and agrees to David's plan. Troops around the world receive information that a new attack is about to be launched. However, there is a shortage of pilots, so the troops begin to accept anyone with flying experience. Russell is among the first to volunteer. David plans to fly with Stevie to download the virus. Constance is worried about her ex-husband. Stevie is getting married to Jasmine, where David and his spouse are witnesses. Constance notices a wedding ring on the scientist's hand and gently takes his hand. The president gives a speech about Independence Day to the world and is also about to board an airplane, as he used to be a military pilot. David and Stevie say goodbye to their loved ones and begin the dangerous journey. Russell says goodbye to his family and leaves their photo next to the control panel. Stevie enjoys the controls of the ship, which scares the scientist somewhat. The ship goes into outer space and, just as David anticipated, the alien ship lets them inside. The hero docks and the virus download begins. Constance realizes that the people on the surface of Area 51 could get hurt, so they are all allowed to go down to the bunker. The virus download is completed and the ships can go into battle against the aliens. The president's first attack is unsuccessful, but the second proves successful. Stevie is unable to get the ship out of docking, which makes the aliens suspicious. The Earthlings are running out of shells, and the enemy ship never sustains serious damage. The aliens are preparing to use their main weapon. Only Russell has shells left, and he flies to the cannon. However, everything is spoiled as his weapon jams. Russell makes a new decision and sacrifices himself for the well-being of the world. Colliding with the cannon, the manned ship causes severe damage to the alien base. Base 51 begins to celebrate the victory and informs the world how to destroy enemy ships. Stevie and David launch a nuclear weapon that accidentally frees them. The heroes try to get out of the enemy ship in the 30 seconds they have left. By some miracle, Stevie manages to slip out of the half-closed hatch. The ship is rapidly trying to get to Earth. The general loses the signal with David, but soon their ship is discovered nearby. The president thanks the heroes for saving the world. The alien ship begins to slowly burn up in the atmosphere, turning into a kind of salute. This is the end of the movie. Thank you all for watching this video to the end. Give this video a like. Write in the comments what you think about this movie, and see you in new videos.